continue to do so. Again, I apologize for the delay in the start of the tournament. A lot of moving parts with an event this size, a venue this size, and some miscommunication. I appreciate your understanding on this. All right, please make sure you have your deck listed out with cards from 93 and 94. You may not use collector's edition cards. Your deck must be a minimum of 60 cards with a sidebar between them.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Okay, so this was my Rug Crazies list that I used at GP Vegas. I was pretty happy with this list going into it, and the big changes from previous lists is that you'll notice that the Berserks and the Unstable Mutations were taken out, and I opted for more creatures because I figured there was going to be an awful lot of control decks, an awful lot of removal going, and I wanted to overwhelm their amount of control spells, so I just went really creature heavy on the main deck. So that was the big change that I made mostly. And I decided not to play Stasis because there was just so much anti-blue and so much disenchant running around the format. So it's like people were pre-sideboarded. So I was actually really happy with this list and glad that I played it. So yeah, this was Michael, and he was one of the first people that I played. And he turned out to be a really neat guy. He was playing a mono black deck and had an English accent, so it was really cool to listen to him speak. And I got to run into him at the VIP party, and I think I bought my foil Lotus playmat from him as well. Yeah, this next matchup was pretty tough. He had, gosh, was his name James? I'm trying to remember. He had a mainly red deck that he was playing against me, and the games were definitely pretty tight. He was a good player. And yeah, I love, of course, look at that playmat. I love those old school playmats with the Arabian Nights packs. Those were so awesome. And you can see members of the Horde in the picture. See, there's Aaron right there on the side. Isn't that awesome? And this third person that I played, he had a mono white deck, a lot of Savannah Lions, land tax. I'm trying to remember if I saw Army from Allah, but they can definitely be fantastic decks. And they can definitely take my deck down, that's for sure. Now, if I recall, I don't think he had some fantastic draws, so it probably could have done a lot better against me if he had some pretty good pulls. And I think, is that Stephen Hartford on the right of him right there? I think that might be. Yeah. Oh, you can also see in the background there, yeah, some other players from the Horde. So this was Michael, Christian, and I getting ready to play one of my last rounds before going into the finals in the top 8. And here was the listings, everyone's results. You can see it was 2 pages because there was 92 people, and there's the top 8. And Michael Christian actually finished second out of all those people, and he was the last person that I played in this actual last round. Turns out that he was playing Troll Disco. You can see his list here. It's really a fantastic list, and he did very well with it. He played it correctly and piloted it all the way to like second in the qualifiers before going into the top 8. You can kind of see my hand there. Let's see, I have like a Mana Drain, a Scavenger Folk, Urnam. I got at least 1 Volcanic Island. Pretty decent hand. I'm happy with it. So he starts off with his Mishra's Factory and his Mox. He's looking pretty solid at 2 mana here. And so yeah, that's right, I was using the Vintage Magic sleeves for this tournament. So noticing that he wasn't playing multiple colors, and he played his factory early, I opted to take out his Mishras because I actually didn't figure that he had a lot of colored mana. Now he's showing 2 blue, so it's of course something to be scared of. So I figured I would attempt a Curt Ape here. And sure enough, he is playing counter magic. It wasn't a counter spell, but it was a sink. Curt Ape goes down. So now he's showing a little bit more of his deck. So I knew he had factory. I knew he had sink. So everything he was playing except for that power sink could have indicated the deck at this point. But then as soon as he revealed power sink, I knew he wasn't playing the deck. He would be playing something else. And there we go. There's the big clue. Troll Disco. As soon as somebody plays a Sedge Troll, you basically know what they're doing, what their game plan is. So now I'm recording something there for my life. I'm probably noting that he took City of Brass damage at that point. Okay, so I'm facing down a troll. I got 1 land. So he's already got a 3/3 beat stick, and he's got mana advantage on the board, so things aren't looking necessarily great. So now I got my Taiga and my Volcanic Island. And this is obviously not the first game. This is probably the last game, because I can see an energy flux there in my hand. I know that was one of my sideboard cards. So I opt for a Scavenger Folk, and I've got a Soul Ring out. So I know he's playing Disco Troll at this point, so I know anything that I put out is at risk. But I'm feeling comfortable to play my Soul Ring because the Scavenger Folk is already on the table, and if he plays a disc, I know I can blow it up. If nothing else, I can take out his Sapphire and go card for card if he bolts my Scavenger Folk. But of course, I need my mana to do that. And at this exact second, I'm tapped, and I don't know which direction he's going to do. But he's got the Sedge Troll out, and he's swinging, so I need to get some of my beef on the table as fast as I can. So now he Demonic Tutors with 2 mana open. In this kind of situation, Ancestral Recall is always a good play. Get some card advantage up, because his hand is definitely looking a little light. And he's already got board dominance right now, so he's got enough safety to go ahead and just go for card advantage and solidify a win. And then he lets me go with 2 blue untapped, so I know there's a good chance that anything I do might actually get stopped. And I risk it here. I play Urnam, and yeah, there we go. See, there is the counter. I knew it was a risk, but with the Troll out, I cannot go that many turns. It's too much of a risk to let the Troll happen. Sometimes your only option is to try to bleed the other deck out of their counter magic, and unfortunately he had a big enough threat down on the board. There's the Ancestral. That's probably the Ancestral I would guess he tutored for, most likely, unless he already had it. So now his hand is filled back up a little bit. He's still got some beatdown with the Troll. He's definitely dominating what's on the board. And we've already seen one Power Sink and 1 Counterspell. And I know what his game plan is. He's already got me in a tight spot, because he's got that Troll out. I've got bolts in my deck, but I can't bolt the Troll unless I can tap his mana out and kill his regeneration ability. And unfortunately, I don't have enough mana to do an awful lot of threats. Okay, so I do have a Curd Ape here. And looks like I'm swinging for 1 there. I know I've got to get some damage in.
Are you playing?
No, I'm narrating.
Oh, sorry.
And so now I'm time walking this turn. Waiting to see if he's going to respond here, because we know that he's playing some control. We know that he might have some counter magic. Oh, and he goes for the bolt. Not on the Curd Ape, notice. He goes for the Scavenger Folk. So that very likely means he wants to put a disc into play and keep it protected.
Yeah, but one
So the Scavenger Folk was a bigger threat than the Curd Ape.
That does nothing. How many cards in your hand? One does not have 3 or activated.
This is interesting here. I'm second guessing myself because he's got a good board position, and he's got me at a life disadvantage. And instead of keeping open with a Curd Ape, I go for a swing and then a wheel. Okay, discarding a mana drain. Okay, I see why I did that. I didn't have 2 blue for the mana drain. I had the energy flux, but it wasn't hurting him too much yet, and I needed my Soul Ring more than he needed his Sapphire, so I couldn't play the energy flux. Looks like what I was largely on is stuck not having enough mana to keep up with his counter magic game. Now I can see a Strip Mine there in my hand, and that could be pretty good if I can limit his black mana to shut off his regeneration with his Troll. But instead I go for 2 blue. It looks like I'm trying to threaten him with 2 blue. That I might have some counter magic on the table. Now he's got plenty of life, so he's going to go right ahead and swing against me with his Sedge Troll. There it is. He can take my Curd Ape damage, no problem. Because he's still got board advantage here. He knows that I'm the one that's actually really got to play something out. And I just Wheel of Fortune, so good chance he's drawn back into some kind of counter magic. Now he's probably piling up for something good. He's doing some math in his head here. 3 mana for another Troll. Okay. And he's keeping 2 black open, so he's got some regeneration ability with his 2 Trolls. Now I can see a Serendib there in my hand. That'd be big enough to actually block his trolls. Of course, it's going to plink me while that's happening. But if I can stop his aggression, I can probably outplay him with creatures because my deck is just largely creatures. Can't completely see what else is in my hand there, but definitely the Serendib Efreet is a good play here to stop the Sedge Troll aggression. So there we go. And I play it along with the Taiga and a Volcanic still sitting back. Looks like he lets that resolve. So then I play out a Strip Mine. A good target at this point would be limiting that Underground Sea to cut off his options to black. But instead I'm tapping it for a regrowth. Time Walk. Now I've already played a land this turn, so that Time Walk would be a good play if I actually have a Mox in my hand. Oh, no I don't. I passed the turn to him. Okay, so he ready blasts the Troll, or the Kurdape, leaving me with just my Serendib. Keep in mind he is an aggressive deck as well, and I've given him a full grip of cards, so this is a bad situation to be in.
Turn 3. Thank you. Turn 3. There we go.
0, 1.
I can see Randy Bueller there in the top right, playing at table 1 in this last round of the old school tournament, right next to me.
Turn 3 since time was called.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear time call. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That's what the dice is for.
Yeah, the die he has over there is keeping the turn.
So 4 mana, control magic, and it's looking pretty grim. Because without counter spells in my hand, control magic and 6 damage a turn beatdown is looking pretty bad. Because I've lost my only defender to keep those trolls at bay. And Time Walk to pretty much finish it up. Because now I'll be swinging for 9 damage as the next turn is completely by itself. And that's it. So in this picture, you can see Jason Murray and I were squaring off here in the finals. And Jason and I were playing for first and second place. And you can see the trophy there. And we actually both got a game, went into the last game. And he had an early Library of Alexandria, drew a ton of cards off of it, and I could not find my Strip Mines. And then he got some Ivory Towers out and just gained a ton of life. And at that point, the game had just ran away from me. And there's Jason's deck. Nice copy of the deck. And you can see his trophy there. There's his sideboard. Fantastic deck. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day.